Jensen Huang stood on stage at GTC Taipei 2026 and said something that should have stopped the room cold. He said, and I quote, "Every company will run it. Every company will be an agent company." He then described a world where billions of AI agents replace the people currently doing those jobs, where entire manufacturing lines are operated by robots, managed by more robots, inside factories that are themselves robots. And the crowd? They cheered. Now I want to be very clear. Jensen Huang is one of the most visionary CEOs alive. Nvidia went from a gaming GPU company to a $4 trillion AI infrastructure empire, and he called almost every step of that before it happened. So, when he says AI agents are coming for billions of jobs, I believe him. And that's exactly what makes this so important to talk about. So, at GTC Taipei 2026, Nvidia's biggest keynote of the year, Jensen Huang unveiled the RTX Spark chip, announced a partnership with Microsoft to reinvent the PC, and laid out his vision for an agentic AI future that is frankly the most ambitious and most alarming tech roadmap I have seen in years. Today I want to break down what was actually announced, call out the marketing claims that don't add up, and talk about the one thing nobody in that room seemed willing to say out loud. Okay, so let's start with the big picture, because the RTX Spark laptop is actually the least interesting thing that happened at this keynote. Jensen Huang's vision for AI agents is genuinely staggering. He said the compute required for agentic AI will rise at least 1,000% compared to generative AI in just 2 years. Not 10%, not 100%, 1,000%. His reasoning? AI agents don't just answer questions, they read. They plan, they call tools, they write code, they query databases, they verify their own work, and they do all of that for minutes or hours at a time without any human in the loop. Huang wants 10 billion of these agents running inside businesses, factories, robots, satellites, and your personal computer simultaneously. And here is where I want to pause, because there was a moment in this keynote that I think got glossed over very quickly. Jensen Huang, while hyping up these billions of agents, appeared to suggest the global population was around 1 billion people. There are 8 billion people on Earth. 8 billion. Now, to be fair, he was likely talking about a specific subset of knowledge workers or a particular market. But when you are on stage announcing AI systems that will replace human workers at scale, getting the number of humans wrong by 7 billion people is the kind of receipt that tells you exactly how far removed from everyday reality some of these conversations are happening. Now let's talk about the RTX Spark laptop, because this is where the marketing really starts to stretch. Nvidia is promising all-day battery life on a chip with a TDP, that's thermal design power, of between 45 and 80 watts. Now 80 watts is already a lot for a thin laptop. But here's the thing, the previous generation of comparable Nvidia hardware was pulling 140 watts under load. Some configurations pushing 150, physics hasn't changed. RTX 5070 equivalent graphics performance in a very thin laptop with all-day battery life is a combination that cannot all be true at the same time. One of those three things is a lie. Either the performance isn't really RTX 5070 equivalent, or the battery doesn't actually last all day under load, or the laptop isn't actually that thin. My money is on the battery, because it is always the battery. All-day battery in a high-performance laptop has meant 45 minutes of actual gaming, and then you're tethered to a wall for the last 15 years. And now we get to the part of this story that I think is the most honest conversation happening in the background of all these announcements. The RTX Spark chip is genuinely impressive engineering, but it runs Windows. And Windows on ARM has been a work in progress for years. The backwards compatibility requirements, supporting software going back decades, means that no matter how fast the Nvidia chip underneath is, it still has to push all that data through a Windows kernel built to support software from 30 years ago. Apple cracked this with the M1 in 2020 because they controlled both the hardware and the operating system. They could rebuild macOS from the ground up for ARM. Microsoft cannot do that without breaking everything. Nvidia built one of the most powerful AI chips ever put in a laptop, then handed it to Microsoft to run. And that might be the one decision that stops this from being the MacBook killer everyone is calling it. So here is my real bite on all of this. Jensen Huang is building the future. That is not hyperbole. The man has been right about almost every major AI inflection point for the last 10 years. The RTX Spark chip is real. The performance is real. The agentic AI revolution is real, and it is coming faster than most people are ready for. But here is what I want you to take away from this video. When the CEO of a $4 trillion company stands on stage and talks about billions of AI agents doing the work currently done by human beings, and the response from the room is applause, someone needs to ask the question that nobody in that room was asking. What happens to the billions of people whose jobs those agents are replacing? That's not an anti-tech argument. That's not a fear of progress. That's just the most important question of the next decade. And right now, the people building this future seem far more focused on the agents than on the humans. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you excited about the agentic AI future, or does this genuinely worry you? I want both sides on this one. The real Byte. See you in the next one.